While I'm doing that, I want you to join me in welcoming a gentleman that was bold enough to take the stand to run for Broken Arrow School Board. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Broken Arrow School Board, but it's not the most popular place to be. So it's a bold move on Harold's part, and he has been an active part of the Tea Party since its inception. He worked with Nathan Dahm on his campaign, and if you can get behind him financially, if we can get out and help him walking his ward, whatever he needs, if we can get behind him and help him, we can win that one. That's one that we can take. And so please join me in welcoming Harold Vermillion, candidate for Broken Arrow School Board.
What ward is it?
Zone 1. Well, my name is Harold Vermillion, and I'm running for Broken Arrow School Board, Zone 1. 19 years old. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I've born and bred in Broken Arrow, grown up there all my life. I went through Broken Arrow Public Schools from kindergarten on graduation last year, so 13 years in the Broken Arrow Public School system. When you hear about Broken Arrow right now, you see it in the headlines, you know it's not too good of news right now. But my main focus is obviously, we're going to address that, but to get back to the main focus of the school board, which is the students. Getting back to what our job is, to provide the best education we can to the public. Now, through my time at Broken Arrow, I was on the Pride of Broken Arrow, the grandest band in the land.
Yeah.
And, when you're in Pride, you learn life lessons. Honesty, integrity, teamwork. You learn that you're not the only one in the fight, that it's always about the person next to you. If you mess up out there on the field, no one's going to laugh at you. All that's going to happen is they're going to come up to you and ask, do you need any help? It's about caring for each other. That's what the Tea Party is about. That's what the Tulsa 912 Project is about, helping each other. And that's what the Pride is about. One of my goals is to get those life lessons in the everyday classrooms for the people who aren't in those extracurricular activities that learn those lessons. At Broken Arrow, through my time there, I've had great teachers who use their experience and their enthusiasm for teaching to implement those life lessons in the classroom. So it's already established there. It's just a matter of growing it and putting it on a larger scale. Another thing, obviously, and you know this about any level of government, is the budget. When I get in there, I'm going to exercise the fullest fiscal conservative policy I can. I'm going to get in there, I'm going to look at the budget. What is not needed? What isn't effective? Let's get rid of it. We don't need it. When it comes, I was talking to the Broken Arrow Education Association tonight. I told them that when it comes to looking at cutting things, the very last thing I ever want to do is to cut teachers. I'm always going to look to stay away from that as best as possible. We're going to have issues, every school district does, but our job is to provide the best education and always look to the students. People, they ask, why are you running at such a young age? Well, I'm fresh out of the school system, so I'm wanting to bring a resource that the school board doesn't have, and that's the fresh perspective of a student. The decisions they make every day affect our students, and how do the students see it? How do the policies the school board make affect them? How does it affect their education? So I want to bring that resource to the Broken Arrow School Board of a student. Because no matter what decision we make, we have to weigh it up to, does it improve the education for the students? Now, does anybody have any questions so far? 3 of them already. Sandy?
Well, I want to know where you stand on prioritizing the amount of money that the schools spend on sports as opposed to getting good math teachers. You can guess where I can go.
Gee, let's see.
Well, extracurricular activities are important. I mean, I come from the Pride, and I know how important they can be for students. And it's the ability to balance it to where you get the best of both worlds. And it can be difficult. I was in a meeting with Dr. Mendenhall, and I said, it is easy on the outside to, push and nudge about being fiscal and looking at the budget and everything. But when you get on the inside and you're able to really look at where the money is going specifically, you start to notice some things. And it's going to be getting in there, looking at the budget, where everything goes specifically, and working with the financial department on being able to balance that and get the best of both worlds.
Well, let me just say one thing. I know from experience that the quality of the math teachers in our schools is not good, and the kids are not
Well, that's for
learning
sure.
math in schools.
Right.
So I am for paying more money to get high quality math.
Well, and I know all math teachers I've had, they were great. I know that much, but you know there are ones out there that aren't so great.
What grade were you in when you studied out?
I was in boy, that's going back. I was at North, so freshman year I believe it was, freshman, sophomore year.
Tenth?
9th, 10th, yeah.
Good grief,
I know, but let's kind of keep them quick, just because y'all can
Okay,
talk
so I
to
don't wanna take
Harold
Sally's time.
afterward. Yeah, we've got so
Yeah.
much.
How are you going to pursue the audit?
As it talks about, you know, we do have our issues. I'm like everybody else. I will address it when it comes. We'll deal with it. But I don't want to be the sole focus. I want to get back to focusing on students, getting the board's focus back to students.
I'm going to wait because I'm not going to take that time.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm for supporting the teachers, I'm for supporting the band, I'm for supporting the football team. Can they cut the administrative costs, number one? Number two, I do tutoring for the Broken Arrow school system in math, and I'm helping some of the kids. I've also served as a substitute teacher in the Broken Arrow school system. You're 19, I'm 68, I'm an old fart. I'm used to the old style. What can the school board do to get a little bit more discipline in the classroom so that we have an effective learning environment? That's the biggest problem I've seen in the Broken Arrow public school system, trying to teach kids that are just crazy.
Well, and part of that is giving our teachers the ability to be able to discipline the way they need to. And not violently or anything like that, but being able to enforce disciplinary action. Another thing is, and something that I'm wanting to do, is getting the community more involved.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to Broken Arrow board meetings right now, the only people there are administration, principals. That's it. There's very little community action in the board, and so we need to get parents, the community, everyone involved in knowing what's going on in our board system, because that's how these problems develop, is nobody's watching.
Well,
We know that above all.
A lot of problems with the parents, but the school board has to take the guts to say, okay, your kid's out of line. I'm sorry that your little baby's getting in trouble. You take him home and deal with him and send him back to us when he's ready to settle down.
Right.
Sometimes you need to do that with the parents.
Yeah, exactly. No, the parents are a big part of the problem.
Yeah, they're a big part of the problem. Anybody that wants to talk to Harold after the meeting, he'll be available to talk to you if you've got any questions. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot to run a campaign for a school board, but it does take some money. It does take some.
Are you taking donations?
Yes. If any of you think of any questions later, you want to know more about me, you can go to my website, Vermillion.com. We're going to be working on tonight getting a PayPal thing up there so you can donate through online.
They can also donate by check.
By check.
Or through the PayPal or credit card.
So we need to get behind him. We say that we want to make change. We want to affect change. It starts at the school board and the city council level. So any way that we can help him, whether it's get out on a Saturday and hand out push cards, whatever he needs, please let him know that you're available to help him, because any amount of time, am I right, Molly? Even the smallest amount of time comes in handy. So it all helps. We can help him win this, and we can definitely make a difference. So thank you so much for doing. Step it up, man. I appreciate you.